Now we need to work on the rear panel area up here in the top. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's my front view. What we need to work on, if you remember I mentioned that we're going to work on this in stages, so we're going to work on different areas. The fan area up here, this center area here, then this sort of honeycomb hole grill area down here, and of course the area where the headphone jacks, USB plugs, things like that go. We already finished that area. So what we're going to do now is move up here to the top and work on this rear fan vent area and the power plug area up here. So basically this entire section we're going to start working on now. Now it looks a little bit complicated, and to be honest with you, it is a bit complex, but using some certain techniques here that I'm going to show you, we can break this down and make it a very easy modeling task to complete. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Go back to my camera view here. I don't need this metal fold piece that goes around the border of the back panel. So for now I'm going to hide it by hitting H on the keyboard so I can just focus on this area here. Okay, I'm going to come to my back view here. I'm going to go to edge mode and select the edge on the left and the one on the right, and I'm going to subdivide this evenly. I'm going to move this subdivision up to about right here, using my image there as reference. What I'll do is I'll select this polygon, use the knife tool since it's a little bit faster, and I'll make a cut about down there. See that? So we should end up with this big rectangular polygon in this specific area right here where this fan vent is going to go, and this power plug is going to go as well. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to use the knife tool, and I'm going to make a cut right about here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on doing this metal cut, because if I look at that, let me open up a reference image here. Let's have a look at this reference image, and let me see if I can find another one, a close-up. And this close-up is actually cut off, so it's not going to do very good. But you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's all these sort of metallic objects and things that are dented in and dented out and little holes and things like that. We're going to do a lot of that detail. Not every single little hole, obviously. That would take forever to do, and we're trying to get this tutorial done. But we're going to do a lot of these metal folds and little overlapping pieces and things like that. So the way I'm going to do it, it's actually pretty simple. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to start using my knife tool to make some cuts. So I'm going to take this polygon, I'm going to make a cut about right there. I'm going to take this polygon here, I'm going to make a cut about right here. I'm going to take this polygon that's up here, I'm going to make a cut about right, let me see where I want to make that cut, maybe about right there. And then I'm going to take this polygon, I'm going to make a diagonal cut that goes down like that. I'm also going to need to take this polygon and I'm going to make a cut right there like that. Take this polygon, I'm going to make a cut right there. Well, I could make a nice diagonal cut right here. I think I'll do that. There we go. Over here where the power plug is, we need to make some cuts as well. So I'm going to use the knife tool. I'm going to make a cut right there. I'm going to make a cut right about here. Take this polygon. The reason I keep selecting polygons every time is so that I can isolate the knife tool to the specific polygon that I want. That way it doesn't start cutting up everything, because if we don't select a polygon, we just cut on the object, it'll cut right through the entire object like a laser. Okay, so once I do those cuts, basically what I have is these polygons. These polygons are kind of a rough outline of the metal fold area, and this is actually going to be extruded in. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to hit Control D and extrude this in. I'm going to pull it in a little bit, not too much, just a bit, to give it that little metal fold piece right there. And the next thing I'm going to do is, let me look at this from the back view here, and everything's looking pretty good. Okay, there are some edges and things that I need to get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, say, for example, all of these edges over here, as well as these two. I'm going to hit delete on the keyboard to get rid of them because we don't need them. We also don't need these edges over here. So I'm going to get rid of those. Hit delete on the keyboard to get rid of those. I'm going to look at this in the camera view, make sure I didn't mess up the model, and I did it. It looks pretty good. Okay. There's an extra little edge right up there. I'm going to get rid of that one. And we're looking pretty good. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just grab the windows right here, the viewports, and drag this down. That way I can have just these two viewports right here working. And I'm going to go to edge mode, and I'm simply going to go ahead and select, say for example, this edge. And I'm going to bevel that. Give this some rounding. And I'll go according to the image, which is something like that. And let me see where else I want to do a bevel. I want to do a bevel probably here, so I'm going to select this edge that's right there. Bevel that as well. Give that some subdivisions right there. About 5 looks pretty good. Give it a little bit of rounding. Let me see, probably want to bevel this too. It looks like it's beveled in the image. So I'm just going to skip ahead in the video. Go ahead and bevel this stuff. Look at the image, see which areas need to be beveled, and get that done on your own. Okay, so I just beveled a few little areas right there to make this look more interesting and more faithful to the image. There's a little extra edge right there that I'm going to delete. I don't like having those extra edges all over the place. They just make it more troublesome to work. Okay, so that pretty much is going to do it for cutting into this little area here and setting this up. In the next video, we'll start to work on some of the detail that goes on this rear panel area.